Welcome to Celebrate Aging. Here on the Ecumen Detroit Lakes campus, we have a wonderful support group called the Parkinsons Support Group. And with me today are some of our guests who will talk about Parkinson's as they have been diagnosed with it, and also their spouse has been diagnosed with it, and we're going to talk about caregiving as well. The Parkinson's Support Group meets the last Thursday of every month at 2 o'clock. And because of the construction here on our campus, we are meeting at Trinity Lutheran Church. And Sue Sorensen, one of our social workers, is the lead on this support group. And so as they meet, they talk about things that are of interest to them. Sometimes we talk about medical things, sometimes we talk about social things, sometimes I'm sure you talk about everything, but that's what we're going to hear about. And they are having speakers in the next few months, and I'm just going to share that with you. So if you do have an interest in learning about Parkinson's, you're certainly welcome to come. Like I say, it's the last Thursday of the month at 2 o'clock, and they're meeting at Trinity for the time being. Now in April, Jane Leno is going to be the speaker. And she is from Sanford talking about the big program. And I think that's, they'll tell us more about that. In fact, you should come and learn about it. And then in May, Dr. John Alagata will be the speaker, and he's a psychologist. And he is going to talk about living with depression and anxiety. And that oftentimes comes with living with Parkinson's. It actually comes with living with lots of different diagnoses. So that will be good information. And then in June, Sarah Macha is a nurse practitioner from Sanford, and she will come and address the group. So they've got some good speakers coming to talk about different items. But right now we're going to talk to Ole Olson. That's a nice, easy name.
Thank you. Yes, it is.
And we're going to talk with Ruth Hansen. I've said Nelson now twice, so I have to correct myself. Ruth Hansen. So Ole, tell us about, when were you diagnosed with Parkinson's?
Probably about 20 years ago I was diagnosed with Parkinson's. I probably had it many years before that.
Okay. What were some of your symptoms? What made you go in?
I went to the doctor to get I had surgery on my knee by a doctor, and then I was going in the second surgery on the other knee, and after he talked to me a while, he said, "You've got Parkinson's disease." I said, "What?"
Well, that was amazing.
Yeah, he just knew it. So some of the things I did.
So how has your life changed because of that diagnosis?
Oh boy, considerably. Mm-hmm. But maybe for the better, I don't know. Mm-hmm. My wife is a fantastic caregiver, and sometimes I feel sorry for her because she has to take care of me.
But I'm sure she does it with a smile.
Oh, usually.
Usually,
Yeah.
Yes. And so you come to the support group. Have you found that helpful?
Oh yes, many times. You get to talk to different people, and Parkinson's is interesting because it has a different diagnosis for everybody. I mean, it isn't a simple thing that medicine can pick out and say you have Parkinson's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's not a blood test or an x-ray that shows that, right?
No, that's right.
And so it does vary from person to person.
That's correct.
Okay, well, I'm glad you come to the support group, Ole.
But it's fun.
And Ruth, how long have you had Parkinson's?
I've had Parkinson's for a little over 4 years. I thought it was 5, but I was looking last night at my paperwork, and I got diagnosed in Detroit Lakes on March 2010, and they sent me to Fargo, and the doctor in Fargo told me that yes, you definitely have Parkinson's. And I wasn't really surprised because my brother has Parkinson's really, really bad. And so I thought maybe I will get it too, and I did. And so I've been diagnosed for a little over 4 years ago.
Do you like coming to the support group?
I love coming to the support group because we have some very good speakers, and I always feel better after I've left the support group.
Thank you very much. Well, we appreciate their testimony and their openness in talking about this diagnosis. And now we're going to talk to Ted Hatland, and his wife has been diagnosed with Parkinson's, And you brought a picture just because she can't be with us today. I understand she's being a grandma.
Yes, she is.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about how life has
Okay.
changed for you and your wife?
Okay. First of all, my wife is down in the cities helping take care of a grandchild, so I brought a picture there to, you probably have seen us around town. Usually you would maybe see us in the morning in some activities rather than later in the day. And that has to do with Parkinson's. 8 years ago, I noticed that my wife, when she was walking, her left side seemed like the left foot was not in sync with the right. And the left arm was not swinging, and then a little bit of tremor to it. And so we talked about it, and she said, you know what, I feel that way inside too. I have some internal tremors. And so we went to a local doctor, and the doctor suggested, well, we should see a neurologist. So we went to Fargo, and not knowing what kind of a test that you do for Parkinson's, we sat down there, and very, very subjective. You know, he tapped her on the knee and on the elbow, had her walk, had her write her name, had her speak for a little while. And then all of a sudden he turned to us and said, well, Ellen, you've got Parkinson's. And we both thought,
No
wow,
blood test, no
what
x-ray.
what do we do now, you know? And he said, you're welcome to a second opinion if you want to, you know, but he said, I'm quite sure. And he said, I tell you what, I'm going to give you some cardio-levodopa medication, or just a sample, and you take this tonight and let me know how you do. Well, she took that last night, or that night, and then very shortly thereafter, she felt really, really much relieved, you know? And said, wow, this is great. And so we met with that neurologist for about a year, and she was making pretty good progress. And then, as happens with a lot of really good neurologists, they moved to bigger cities.
Of course.
And so then we had to find someone else, and we found another one, and pretty soon he was gone. Well, the third one that we met with didn't think that Ellen had Parkinson's. He said, you look too good to have Parkinson's. You know, you don't have all the classic symptoms. Well, during the course of the 1 year that we were with that fellow, her left arm, her left hand, just turned into like a claw. Her tremors came back. Her left foot, she had to quit clogging, which she enjoyed doing because her left foot would no longer, you know.
Yeah.
So then we came to one of our Parkinson's support group meetings, and one of our good friends, Red, said, well, there's a new gal in town, and she's really good. And so we switched over to this new neurologist. And right away, you know, we were on our cardio-levodopa 4 times a day, and right now, Ellen is doing absolutely super. She's been with her for 4 years now and doing absolutely great. And in terms of caregiving, being a school teacher, you have to be kind of patient, but I've become even more patient. In our activities, we plan them out more. We do most things in the morning. Our date would not be going out for supper. Our date would be going out for breakfast. And by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we're pretty well done for the day. You know? So being very supportive. The support group has just been marvelous for us. She's met some really close friends here. She has weekly conversations with some of the people. We've gone out for coffee and pie with some of them. Sure. And it's just, it's been a very good deal. And I thank Sue for all that she's done in organizing this. It's been tremendous for all of us.
Very good. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. It's very important that we advocate for ourselves. I think we can hear that in this testimony that you've shared, Ted. We need to be advocating for ourselves. And at this support group, this Parkinson's support group, as they meet, they openly share some of the challenges and some of the successes. And you can tell that it does make a difference in a life. So Sue Sorensen is our facilitator for the Parkinson's support group. Reminding you again, they meet the last Thursday of the month at 2 o'clock at Trinity Lutheran Church. Know that if you want to know any more about Parkinson's, if you think you have it, maybe you haven't been diagnosed, maybe you need some more information, feel free to come and join these wonderful people who would love to hear your story and give you the support that you need. This is Vicki at the Ecumen Detroit Lakes campus wishing you a great day.